Good morning. My name is Bobby Bagley, and I'm the Director for the Division of Public Health and Community Services. I want to thank you all for joining us this morning for our Greater Nashua 2020 Childhood Lead Poisoning Prevention Virtual Conference. The goal of today's conference is to educate and engage our partners, stakeholders, and community members on the impact of childhood lead poisoning, the importance of childhood lead poisoning testing, and our next steps that we can all take as a community to help keep our children safe and healthy. Our hope is that this conference will empower you to increase your engagement in any initiative and all of our collaborations aimed at preventing childhood lead poisoning prevention in our community. We appreciate your interest and your time, and we thank you in advance for your flexibility in joining us virtually today. I would now like to introduce the Chief of Staff, Cheryl Lindner, for some opening remarks on behalf of Nashua's Mayor, Mayor Jim Donchez. Cheryl?
Thank you, Bobby. Welcome to the Greater Nashua Childhood Lead Poisoning Prevention Conference. Childhood lead poisoning has been an issue nationwide, but especially in Greater Nashua, where lead paint in and on old homes deteriorates over time. Lead becomes dangerous when it deteriorates because it breaks down into chips and dust, which are able to be ingested and inhaled. Lead is especially damaging to children who are still in the early stages of development because it can harm the brain, damage speech and hearing, and result in learning and behavior problems. The children of Nashua are at increased risk for lead poisoning. In 2018, 74% of 1-year-olds and 57% of 2-year-olds in Greater Nashua were tested for lead. Among those tested, 31 1-year-olds and 24 2-year-olds had levels exceeding CDC recommendations. Based on that information, 26% of 1-year-olds and 43% of 2-year-olds in Greater Nashua remained untested for lead in 2018. Therefore, undetermined if they had elevated lead levels. There are risk factors that increase a family's susceptibility to lead poisoning, including children under 6 years old living in a house built before 1968, rental housing, and being of low income. The Greater Nashua Leading Education and Awareness on Lead initiative is working to increase blood lead level testing for children under 6 years of age in Greater Nashua by providing educational opportunities and materials to healthcare providers, childcare providers, and the community. In the past year, Lead Greater Nashua worked to provide all regional pediatric healthcare and childcare providers with an informational toolkit focused on increasing lead testing in children. Lead Greater Nashua collaborates with community stakeholders to provide community outreach and health promotion to all of our community. Nashua has also been identified as a community at increased risk for lead poisoning in New Hampshire and was invited by the state and New Hampshire Listens to participate in the Community of Action for Lead Safety. Last year, Nashua's Community of Action met to discuss the impacts of lead on the community and new ideas for primary prevention. Nashua stakeholders also met with other communities to share ideas and resources around childhood lead poisoning prevention. This collaboration has allowed Nashua to work with partners to increase primary prevention of childhood lead poisoning. I'd like to turn it back over now to Bobby Bagley, our Director of Public Health.
Thank you, Cheryl, for those remarks. I want to take this time to also thank our conference planners, led by Nicole View and Jessica Hillman. We would not be here today if it weren't for their dedication in planning this event. I have a few notes and reminders for everyone before we get started with today's presentations. We hope that everyone has had a chance to network a bit this morning and explore some of the exhibits and the pages for this event. We are currently on the main stage, which is where most of our presentations will be held today. During the breakout sessions, attendees can click on sessions listed in the left blue bar and select the breakout session that you signed up for. After each of your breakout sessions conclude, please join us back on the main stage for the panel discussion. The panel will be taking questions, so please feel free to ask any. And during that time, you can put it in the chat throughout the day. There are also a couple of built-in breakouts where you can stretch, get a drink, or view an exhibitor's page by clicking on that exhibitor on the left-hand side of the blue bar. You can connect with exhibitors during or after the conference, or you can check out their available resources. We hope that everyone enjoys the conference today and learns more about childhood lead poisoning prevention and what you can do to contribute to our work in protecting our children in Nashua. Thank you all and have a great day.